Welcome back to the Motor Voult. The 2027 Tricycle Camper is expected to start at around $18,000 in the US market, depending on configuration, powertrain, and available camper equipment. That puts it in a very interesting position for buyers who want something more practical than a motorcycle but considerably smaller and less expensive than a traditional RV. Unlike a conventional car, this three-wheeled camper is designed around one simple idea: combine everyday mobility with a compact living space. The exact brand and production specifications may vary because this type of vehicle is still more of a niche and emerging concept in the American market. But the design shown here gives us a good idea of what this kind of vehicle could offer. Starting with the exterior, the 2027 Tricycle Camper has a surprisingly substantial presence for such a compact vehicle. Up front, the single front wheel gives it the unmistakable three-wheel layout, while the enclosed cabin makes it look much more substantial than a typical three-wheeler. The large windshield, swept-back front section, integrated headlights, and aerodynamic bodywork give it a modern appearance without making it look overly complicated. The red and white exterior shown here also gives the camper a premium, custom-built feel. Chrome-style trim, alloy-style wheels, roof rails, side steps, and the sculpted body panels add plenty of visual character. The rear section is where the camper concept really becomes obvious. Instead of simply carrying passengers, the extended body provides usable space for camping equipment, storage, and potentially a compact sleeping or relaxation area. One of the biggest advantages of this design is its size. A traditional motorhome can be difficult to park, expensive to operate, and unnecessary for someone who only wants a simple weekend camper. This Tricycle Camper takes the opposite approach. It keeps the footprint small, making it much easier to maneuver through city streets, parking areas, campgrounds, and narrow roads. Inside, the focus is clearly on making limited space feel useful. The cabin appears to provide a straightforward driver's position with good forward visibility, while the enclosed structure offers significantly more weather protection than an open three-wheeler. For everyday use, that could be a major advantage in areas where rain, wind, or colder temperatures make conventional motorcycles less practical. The camper section is where buyers would need to keep their expectations realistic. This is not going to provide the space of a full-size RV. Instead, think of it as a compact mobile shelter with carefully organized storage and living functionality. Depending on the final production version, we could see a small kitchenette, storage compartments, compact power outlets, lighting, ventilation, and flexible seating or sleeping arrangements. And that compact size comes with a trade-off. Interior space will naturally be limited, so taller travelers or anyone planning extended trips with multiple passengers may find it restrictive. But for one or two people taking short adventures, that smaller footprint could actually be part of the appeal. On the road, the three-wheel layout should make this vehicle noticeably different from both a car and a motorcycle. The front wheel handles steering, while the two rear wheels provide the broader rear stance needed for the camper body. The enclosed cabin should also make the driving experience feel more comfortable and protected than riding an ordinary scooter or motorcycle. Performance will likely be focused more on efficiency and urban usability than outright speed. Depending on the final powertrain, an electric version could make particular sense for this vehicle, offering quiet operation, instant low-speed response, and lower running costs. A gasoline-powered configuration could also make it more practical for buyers who regularly travel farther away from charging infrastructure. Technology should be relatively straightforward but modern. A digital instrument display, smartphone connectivity, USB charging, a reversing camera, navigation support, LED lighting, and a compact infotainment system would all make sense for a vehicle aimed at modern campers. The most useful technology, however, would probably be the equipment that improves convenience rather than flashy features that add unnecessary weight and complexity. Safety is another area where the final US specification will matter. Buyers should look for features such as anti-lock braking, traction control, stability assistance, strong exterior lighting, seat belts, parking sensors or a camera, and a properly engineered enclosed passenger compartment. Because a three-wheeler behaves differently from a conventional four-wheel car, suspension tuning, braking performance, and stability will be especially important. For everyday practicality, this is where the 2027 Tricycle Camper could make the strongest argument for itself. It could work as a commuter during the week and a small adventure vehicle on the weekend. Its compact dimensions should make parking easier, its storage areas could handle basic travel equipment, and its camper body eliminates the need to tow a separate trailer. Operating costs could also be attractive compared with a traditional RV, particularly if an efficient electric powertrain becomes available. Of course, buyers will have to consider weather protection, limited interior space, highway capability, cargo capacity, and the availability of service and replacement parts.